This is the last full day before the end of the league, because it ends tomorrow at 11:30. So we're going to start it off with, should be, yep, 99 farming for 125 points. My estimate for adamant is about 15.5, 15.6. So I've got to get the 580 to get me into tier 5 for 15k, and then at least another 700 to 1000 on top of that to be safe. So there's an easy 250 points I can get now, which is 1 kill of Cerberus and 2 more kills of Nightmare, which puts me at 5 Nightmare kills and a Cerberus kill, because they're 125 each. So let's go do those, and then I've got to try and figure out where to go from there. Well, that's somewhat annoying because I just got it before the soul summoned, but it wouldn't die. So I might try it again because it is a quick kill, but that's a Cerberus done. It's 175 because I also got 10 elite combat achievements. But I don't think I'm going to finish the task. I'll waste too much time trying to finish the task. So I'm going to have to come back later once I've secured adamant to finish it. There we go. Nice simple solo nightmare. For a unique? Really? Oh, that was my 5th nightmare kill. Oh. Wait, I thought I'd only done 3. Meh, I don't know. 15 bass is horrific. I'm only going to take them because I need to heal up. Yeah, definitely faster with WAG, because I don't have a spec lowering, I don't have a defense lowering weapon like the BGS. So, or the Dragon Warhammer actually. Ugh. And that Drake's death puts me into tier 7. 15k points. Right, another 600 to 700 to go, and I should hopefully be safely into adamant, and I'll live with that. I wanted rune, I wasn't going to get it. Where's larger recharger? Oh, faster spec restoration. Oh, lovely. Something that I get way too late, thanks. The one crystal I didn't want because I don't have ranges. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And with that, defeating Cerberus before the souls are summoned for 125 points and a master combat achievement for another 50 points puts me at 15,750, which is where I predicted that adamant will have a cut-off point. I know full well that there is a bot in the league's Discord that you can go and type a command in and it gives you a rough estimate, but I can't be asked to do that because there's 14 hours left of the league and there's no point joining a Discord just to have a look at something. Well, it's the final day. In an hour's time, the servers will go offline. And that will be the end of Shattered Relics. Did I enjoy it? Meh, is the best answer I can give to that, really. I did not enjoy it as much as Trailblazer. And I think the main reason for that comes down to 3 simple letters. RNG. I had absolutely flawless RNG on some things and absolutely trash RNG on others. If, for example, we look at the collection log, see Cerberus, that's a 1 in 147. I got it on, I don't know, whatever it was in the last clip when I was complaining about it. Ziliana, I mean, 48 kills. I had the 1 KC Sarah Hilt, I had the ACB Sarah Sword, didn't get likes, I didn't bother, didn't get pet. But that's only 48 kills, all massively under drop rate. General Grad, 250 kills because I did the task. 2 chestplates, 4 tassets, a pair of boots, 3 hilts. If we keep going down, I got 6 tentacles and 4 tridents in 324 Kraken, no jar. Krill, 232, 8 spears, 9 Steam Battle Staffs, 3 hills, and a pet. On 100 kills I got a pet, which is incredible. And I didn't get anything from Kree. So, but there's the main problem with my RNG. 7 shard 1s, 6 shard 3s, no shard 2. So I went the entire league without a God Sword. No BGS, no SGS, nothing. Which was kind of annoying, to be honest. Kind of really annoying. It's just the task to equip a God Sword, as well as the fact that BGS is a very, very important God Sword for lowering defense. And I just couldn't get it. So many other shards than the one I needed to actually finish the God Sword. But that's what RNG is. In all honesty, it's random. You can complain about it as much as you want, but I'm still massively under drop rate for everything else. It's just not as enjoyable for me to be missing something so easy, which is on a much lower drop rate on tier 6 than the rest of the pieces are, and to not get them. But that's what happens. I can't complain. I got the bloody Basilisk jaw on like kill 14, so... And obviously, little Krill is he's going to be missing for a year now. I'm not going to get to see him again for another year until the next league rolls around. My poor pet, the only pet I have in RuneScape, and I don't get to see him now for another year. Well, hopefully the end of this year, depending on what they wanted to do, because obviously this was last year's league, but it got pushed back because of Group I-Man, so hopefully it'll be the end of this year, and I'll get to see him again. But there is another thing I want to have a little rant about when it comes to RNG, and that is the fragment system. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a okay system, being able to change them on the fly, but this again is where problems came in. So let's start with the big obvious thing when it comes to fragments and RNG, the fact that they were drops. Dropping the fragments as RNG wasn't a good thing, because it meant that you were tied down to specific activities for the reason of getting the fragments. You had to go and do bossing or something along those lines, a particular boss, to get that particular tier fragment, because they wouldn't drop the lower tiers from the higher tier sources. You couldn't get tier 2 and tier 3 combat fragments from tier 4 sources, because I don't know why. They just made it like that. So it meant that you had to go and do specific content to be able to get specific tiers of fragments, which took away part of the fun, because there had been places where you necessarily didn't want to go, bosses you didn't want to kill, things you didn't want to do, but now you had to, because you had to go get those fragments. They were too good to ignore. And there were some that just downright weren't gotten, or there were some that were gotten way too late to actually be leveled and be of any use. And that's not a good thing, because with the previous leagues you had a maximum, if you think of it in terms of just the relics, of 6 choices. Each one had 3 per tier, and you picked, and that was it. You forgot about them because they were always active. You didn't have to go to a bank and change them, you didn't have to worry about leveling them up. You picked them and you played, and that's all the league should really be. It's just a pick and go. You shouldn't have to keep going back to a bank. I liked the changing things, like it was nice that you could change your fragments over to do different things, so you weren't necessarily locked down, but I forgot to do that most of the time. So I'd go and do something else and then be like, wait, I've still got my old fragments on, I've got to go back to the bank, change them, then go back to what I was doing. And it's just time consuming and a bit of a pain, to be honest. So it wasn't an overall brilliant system. And then when we look at them in more detail, the god tier set effect that everybody ran for most of their content, pretty much 90% of it, was absolute unit. The reflecting damage and reducing damage, which was basically just how every boss killed themselves. But looking at them, the majority of their overlap is with melee. It had a strong melee focus on this league, and it was not necessarily good to force the player base into one particular style. It's more if they have a choice, then it's fine. If we look at the other leagues with their fragment selection, well, relic selection, you had 3 distinct tiers where you could pick your focus, because there was one tier for Trailblazer, if I'm remembering correctly, where you had a tier to make melee improved, a tier to make range improved, and a tier to make magic improved. So you picked the tier you wanted to have your focus on. You still could use the other styles, but they wouldn't be as good. But that was your choice. You chose to go magic, you chose to go range, you chose to go melee. With this, you still have a choice to go ranged, mage, and melee, but the fragments are so heavily skewed towards improving melee that it would be foolish not to. Bandosian Might, the attack speed of the weapon determines its new max hit, is another god tier fragment. Zamarakian Sight was a good mage fragment. You got the mage accuracy, 250% mage accuracy for 4 Zamorak items, but it didn't do the max hit. And Armadillion Decree, the bolts activated 100% of the time while wearing 4 Armadillo items, but again, no max hit. They were just, range and mage were significantly weaker than melee. However, I do feel these fragments could be brought back to League 4 with the old relic system, because the 3 of them are affecting the distinct combat styles. You bring them back in the relic pick system and power them up, so you get to the, let's say they're a tier 6 or a tier 7 choice, you've got Bandosian Might, Zamarakian Sight and Armadillion Decree on that tier, and you pick, while wearing 4 Bandos items, your max hit is increased and your melee accuracy is increased. While wearing 4 Zamorak items, your mage accuracy is increased and your mage max hit is increased. And then while wearing 4 Armadillo items, your range accuracy and max hit is increased. Like, just something like that. It's the player's choice for which one they want to focus on, but they're all viable and all achieve the same outcome. They all achieve an accuracy and max hit increase equal to the attack speed of the weapon, which is not necessarily good for range, because I mean there's some fast and some slow, but you could get away with a ballista. But it's all 3 are separate choices that will be picked by separate divisions of the player base based on what they want, but all come together to the same point. Whereas with fragments, they don't come together to the same point necessarily, because melee is such a bigger point than mage and range. And it made it not fun to actually use some of the other styles. I mean, it needed more variety to it, because it just took away, the fragments took away something that the relics had, and they didn't quite feel the same. It was just a bit sad, really. So there we are, back on the disgusting main servers on the main account. Look at those trash stats in comparison to my league ones. Oh, it's depressing, but I did it. I did calculate it right. I have the Shattered Relics Adamant Trophy, which will sit in my bank nicely alongside my Trailblazer Adamant Trophy. Wait, why does the Trailblazer Adamant Trophy give minus stats, and all the Shattered Relics Trophy does is give minus speed? What? That's weird. That's very weird. But yeah, back to the depressing live game, the depressing live bank. I spent my points on the variety ornament kit for the weapon, which I'm not going to use yet, because I would have used it on the whip, but I have a frozen whip and I don't feel like wasting 2 mil rubbing that off with a cleaning cloth. And then I spent some more points on the cannon ornament, so I have the Shattered Relics cannon, I might buy more things. I don't know. I don't really play main. I just play for the leagues, so it'd be a bit of a waste. But yeah, I don't know. I might come back. We'll see. But that's the end of my Shattered Relics adventure. I get to look back at this in God knows how much time while we wait for the next one to begin. However long that's going to be. I would hope not too long. But I'm hoping I can get more addicted to that than I did to Shattered Relics. But that's something that we'll have to do later.